episode 19. My name is Marie and I'm coming to you from central New Hampshire. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Old Time Knits. This is my YouTube channel where I share all about all the knitting and crochet projects that I am involved in. I share what's on my needles, off my needles, what I hope to get on my needles, places that I visited, and Yarny acquisitions that I've come upon. So if this sounds like something you would enjoy, then come on in and let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna jump right into finished objects, and I have quite a few of them. Well, it's been a while since I've been here, but anyway, the first one that I have is a single sock. And this was a whip in my last episode. So I'm on a mission to use up some scraps of yarn that I have sitting around. And so I decided to just start making single socks for my grandkids. And so therefore I'm hosting the single sock, the single sock make along over on Ravelry and Instagram. You can find details in 2 episodes back, I think it is, on all the details. But basically, I'm just using up all the extra leftovers from socks that I've already made. And my grandkids don't care if they're mismatched or not. In fact, they're the reason I started this, because they showed up. Somebody showed up at my house with a pair of mismatched socks on, and I thought, oh gosh, why am I making pairs? So anyway, you can head on over to that other episode and watch for the details, or you can visit the Ravelry group and there's some details there as well. So this one is for my grandson Blake. So I currently have 1 sock done for each of the 3 of the grandchildren in that family, and they don't know. I'm trying to stockpile these maybe for Christmas. I'm not sure yet, but I haven't done any since I finished this one. But this is just random yarn. I don't even know what the yarn is anymore. I think that this is a Dragon Horde yarn, and then this is just some random scraps, but kind of made it look like a candy corn, so that was kind of fun. So yeah, so the single sock make along, and the hashtag for that is single socks for the win over on Instagram. So if you finish a single sock and want to post it over there, then use that hashtag. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So that's one finished object. It was almost done in the last episode, but not quite. And the second finished item I have was also a whip in my last episode, and it is a pair of socks. I do have a pair. And these are for my little coworker. She's adorable, and I think I'm gonna hold them for Christmas because she'll really appreciate them, unless she decides to leave. In which case I'll give them to her anyway. But anyway, this is a super cute self-striping yarn. And I love when I make socks for other people because their feet are so much smaller than mine. I mean, I have a women's US size 11, and so that's not an easy sock to knit. The foot is usually pretty long. These I think are a 7.5, so that's substantially less knitting. Anyway, these are a DK weight, and this is the yarn. It's Freckled Whimsy, and this is on her Serendipity DK, and it's 75/25. It's 245 yards, and this was her color of the month. Long Time No See was the color. So this is exactly what I'm talking about on the single sock make along. Now there's not a whole lot left on this particular one. But I can use this for cuffs on something, and I probably will. And then if there's anything left over, then I just get rid of it at that point. Really nice yarn. This was one of my monthly subscription clubs that I got. So yeah, so that is my second finished object. Love these. And I just used a random mini for it was actually fingering weight, and I held it double to do the heel on them. So I did try to make them matching. They're almost matching, just the toe, just off just by a slight amount. So she is going to love them. So I'm happy to have those done, and I'm always happy when it's a gift because it makes you feel so good that you're accomplishing those things so early in the year. All right, and my next finished objects are something that I did last year, and I really felt so good about it that I decided to do it again this year. And so I decided to knit some hats for the Knots of Love campaign, and I will link all of the information down below. But this is an organization that counts on knitters and crocheters to make beanies for patients undergoing chemotherapy treatment for cancer. And last year, I think I sent a total of 12. And every time you send beanies to these people, they either call you or email you to thank you personally. It's really crazy. It's so heartwarming. So anyway, I have a couple of them off the needle, and this is one of them. And so these patterns are available on the Knots of Love website. Some of them are free and some of them are paid for. And obviously, if they're paid for patterns, they benefit the organization as well. And so that was the first one. Pretty color. Super easy too. And so I like to do these in the summertime. Obviously, it's easy, mindless, and you know, it's good portable project when we're on the go a lot. And then this was the second one, and it's just a basic stockinette with a little bit of ribbing, and it's a larger size one. It's a bigger man's size one. So I thought I would do one of those, just basic. Again, patterns are on their website, and those are on a US 7 and a US 8 needle. I never can remember what it is in millimeters, and 8 is 5 millimeter. So they whip up pretty quick, and it's pretty nice yarn. So this is the yarn, and it's the Lion Brand Heartland, and it is 100% acrylic. It's 251 yards, and it is a worsted weight. And I also recommend this yarn. Somebody just asked me what I would do for toddler or a child sweater, and I would recommend this yarn. It is machine washable and dryable, and I did a Gramps cardigan out of this yarn for my little grandson, and it knits up quite nicely and seems to hold up well. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. This is a really bright red. So I just go to the local big box store and purchase, 6 or 7 skeins of this, and do up hats throughout the year and send them along when I get several done. So it's a good feeling to be able to do that. I mean, we're talented people, and it's nice to be able to share the talent for those who need it more than we do. And they do have a specific yarn list that they want you to use the yarns from, because they don't want anything that's itchy in any way, shape, or form. So you do have to stay within the list requirement, which is also on their website. So I just keep going back to that yarn because it's just so soft. And I thought to myself, well, if I needed something comforting on my bald head, I would really enjoy that. So anyway, like I said, I will link the website down below, and it's a great cause, and it's an easy thing. It doesn't require an excessive amount of anything from you. So if you're interested in that, then you can check out the link down below. And hop on to the next finished object. Good grief, I have a lot of them, don't I? Or it seems that way. All right, my next finished object was a test knit for Joyful Knits Boutique is the designer, and it is called the Pumpkin Magic Cowl. And here it is. Oh, isn't it cute? Oh, I love it so much. This was such a fun knit. It's great for color work and easy color work. Super cute little motif on it. I'll put it on so you can see it. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. It's pretty, it's just a nice little size. It's not too big and not too bunched up underneath the neck, and you can still see the pumpkins on it, and I just think it's so cute. Super cute. And easy peasy. So this was a test knit, and I do believe that the pattern, I'm pretty sure the pattern has been released. I apologize, I should know that information. But what a great knit. So this is also on a US size 8, which is a 5mm. And the yarns that I used are this one. And this is Speckled Finch Studios in her Cozy Worsted in the pumpkin spice colorway. It's 100% superwash merino. This is such nice yarn, very cushy, squishy, and I love this color. Such a great color. So that was obviously for the pumpkins. And the other yarn I used, I purchased at a yarn store, and I had never heard of it, but it's very, very soft, and it is called Amano in the Warmy base. It's baby alpaca and merino. And it says made in Peru. And it's a worsted weight. There's all the info. 164 yards. And so because it's got the alpaca in it, it's mostly alpaca. It says the inspiration for the color card comes from the palette of Peruvian fruits and flowers. Oh, I don't know what that means, but anyway, it's really nice. It's so soft and not scratchy and not itchy, and so I thought it would be a good combination, and it's got some good drape to it also. So this will be really fun for the fall, and it would be something that I would definitely make this again. It was it's very beginner friendly if you're a beginner color work person, and you guys know that I'm, don't have a huge amount, but I'm gaining experience. But it was very easy to follow the charts, and I did not catch any floats, but here they are. Oh, it's kind of cool when you look at them, isn't it? Everybody got to see your floats. So anyway, yeah, that was it was a very fast knit. And easy peasy. Oh, upside down, sorry. So you can do a search on Ravelry for that Joyful Knits Boutique. I'll link it all down below. So Pumpkin Magic Cowl was what it was. I love doing test knits. It's fun. It's fun, and I always get to try new things, and get to talk to other people about it, and so that's always really, really fun. Whew, already have a lot of things. All right, I have one more finished object. Okay, so this is another test knit that I did, and I just finished these yesterday. So here they are. Cute. There are 2 of them. Okay, I'm going to put one down here so I can talk to you about it. All right, this is a test knit, and this is for, these are called the Swiss Dot Shorties, and this is Nancy Wheeler of Knit Sip Happy. Hey, Nance. And this was just the most fun to knit. I'm not going to give a lot of details away. The pattern has not been released yet, but we are allowed to share. But it's just super cute, and a very fun and intuitive pattern. But It's fingering. Yep, you heard me. I did a pair of fingering weight socks. I know they're shorties, but still fingering weight. So the yarn that I used is Palmer Yarn Company, which is one of my monthly subscriptions. And this is her soft sock set, and it's 80% merino, 20% nylon, and it's a one-of-a-kind colorway. So this is the combo as it came. Thought it was super cute together. Lovely yarn to work with. I have not worked too much with her fingering weight. I have worked with the DK weight quite often of hers. So yeah, it was a super fun test knit, and Nancy's a lot of fun to jibber jabber with, and her test knitters in the group with me were so much fun. So I don't have a release date on it, but they are coming soon, and you're going to want to knit this pattern. It is so fun. So it is a I will say it is a cuff down pattern, and not complicated, not hard at all. So thank you, Nancy, for the opportunity. It was a lot of fun, and great success for that. So okay, and I'm going to move on to whips, which is kind of a continuation of some of my a couple of my finished objects there. So I cast on another hat for the Knots of Love. There it is. So when one yarn finishes up, I, start mixing yarns. This yarn is really fun. It's like a confetti kind of a situation. So I'm almost to the decreases on this one. And again, I just really like them as travel knitting. And, a quick project I can take with me. They're not too complicated. And it's the Lion brand, Heartland. And this is in the tweed. And it's called Mount Rainier Tweed. And it's got all the fun little speckles in it. So I'd like to try to do a variety of colors and styles and sizes, because Cancer does not discriminate. So it is a great organization and a great thing to do if you are looking for a place to give charitable donations, or do work for. This is the place. It's called Knots of Love, and that's one of their hat patterns. And some of them are free and some of them are not. I am using a US size 8 needle on that. So yeah, I've really enjoyed having those, and I sorry, I didn't even share this. I keep them in a bag all the time. This is a Hohe bag, and it's the Pampa bucket. Oh, love it so much. I use it all the time, but I like it because it sits flat and it's got nice leather handles. So I just keep the needles that I need. I use the 16-inch circulars. The needles and a couple of patterns and a couple of things of yarn in there. And then I can have it to grab on the go if I don't want to do socks. So yeah, it's a really worthy cause, and it's just, it's worth looking into. So. All right, and then next thing, oh my goodness, you guys are going to be so proud of me, or I hope you are. I have been working on my granny stripe blanket, and I feel like I'm getting pretty close to where I can stop. Sorry, let me get it here. It's getting big. Oh, sorry. Okay. This has been surprisingly a fun thing to do. All right, here it is. There's no way I'm going to be able to show you it all, I don't think. Starts at the teal. all the way down, all the way down. Wow, right? I actually haven't fallen off the bandwagon yet. All right, so the last time I podcasted, I was where the marker is. So I have got a lot more done. And so again, I am just using up fingering weight. I'm holding it double. I'm using a pattern from Green Letter Day is the designer on it, and I'm using a 6mm J hook. It's just a cheapy one. I don't have any fancy. Boy is the company on it. This has been so fun, and recently we've been pretty chilly here, so it's not bad, has not been bad working on it. Let me see if I can stand up so you can see it. I mean, it's pretty long. I am a 6-foot person, and that is to my feet, to the tops of my feet. So I would think that I would be, 5 or 6, maybe 7 more sections, and not all the sections are the same size on it, but what a great fun thing this has been. I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought I would get bored with it quicker, but it's pretty engaging and it's pretty easy, and I'm just happy that I haven't fallen off the bandwagon. I am going to finish it, and I'm going to finish it soon, because again, that's another gift, and I'm trying to focus on my gift knitting early so I'm not under the gun, because I just don't enjoy that at all. So not too much further to go on that. I'm so pumped. I am so excited to think that I actually stuck to it that long. Pretty funny. So yeah, so that is my second whip. And then my third whip is in a bag from Stitchy Girl Studio, who I have quite a few of hers. I like her. She's got some fun fabric. I always like this is a smaller size, which I like so much, 1 or 2 skein project with the drawstrings. And so I recently acquired this yarn and pattern just this past weekend, a few days ago actually. I was on vacation. My husband and I took our camper and went and stayed in Searsport, Maine for 3 nights, 4 days. And my sweet friend Judy from the Autumn Acorn and her husband Joe, hi Joe, came with us. And we just had the best time ever. They rented a little cabin, and we hauled our camper. And so even though it poured buckets the whole time, we made the best of the situation. And of course, we found a couple of yarn stores. Oh dear. So I cast on, actually both Judy and I purchased the same yarn. This was a store sample. I cast on a couple days ago, and here it is. Doesn't really look like much now. It looks so much brighter on the camera. So this is The Age of Brass and Steam, and it can either be made into a small kerchief bandana style, or it can be made into the shawl. And I'm just going to knit until I don't have any more yarn. So I suspect it'll be bigger than the bandana style, the bandana size. Yeah, so we went to a yarn store in Belfast, Maine, and they had this done up as a sample. And this is a yarn I have never heard of before. I'm not even sure how to say it. I would say Araucania. So this is it. Prisma is the name of it. Araucania. And it is the 36% linen, 36% cotton, and 28% viscose. And I am working on a US 7. So Judy and I both bought the same color, and it's one of those self-striping, fading one color into the next. And I am using a US 7, 4.5 millimeter, yes, to do this. So this is a lightweight summery yarn, and you know, a little bit of toothiness to it, but that's linen for you. And I'm hoping it'll soften a little bit once I you know, use it and block it and all of that. So I kind of had it upside down. So this is going to the pink color. I think that's probably a little bit better. And then it'll fade into some orange and some yellow and then some brown and then back to the olive. I just love this olive color. Super love it. So it's more probably of autumn colors, but that's okay because that's what I really, really like. We took a picture of Judy in the sample of this, so I will pop in a picture. It was nice. They did a nice job. And for me, when I go into a store, sampling is really what sells me on a yarn or a project. And it was just nice to be inspired. So yeah, that is all I have for whips. And all right, so I thought I would talk a little bit more about our vacation in Maine. So this campground that we went to was called the Searsport Shores Campground, and it was in Searsport, Maine. And this is the campground that they hold the Knit-Wit Yarns annual retreat at, and that is actually coming up next week. I don't have the dates, but I will put them on the screen so you can know about it. And it's called Knit-Wit at the Shores. And this year, I think it's Casapinka is going to be there, and Laura Nelkin, and gosh, there's a couple of other teachers. I'll link some information in case you want to know about it. But we were not able to make it this year to that, but we wanted to check out the facility. And this is a very, very art-friendly, fiber-friendly campground. And Joe and Judy stayed in a cute little cabin right there on the premises as well. And we found the facility to be super clean and super beautiful. We were on the ocean. I will try to put some footage in. It was just a fantastic location. Our camper was you know, right at the ocean itself, and on Penobscot Bay. So it was really a fantastic time, although it rained and poured buckets for 3 days. We were cold, and it was rainy on and off, but you know, you just go and you make the best of the situation. So yes, and our first order of business the next day was to get up and get going and find a couple of yarn stores, which is exactly what we did. And so the first one we came upon was Heavenly Yarns, and they are located in Belfast, Maine, which was just 10 minutes from our campground. It was amazing. So they are a small Main Street shop in the village of Belfast. And the owner, who was Helen, hey Helen, and her helper, worker fairy person was Cheryl. Hey Cheryl. Two super friendly women. They were just so fun. And both Judy and I enjoyed ourselves tremendously in that store. We were in there for a long time. It's rather a large store, and the selection was crazy. I'm going to insert some video footage, and I will keep talking about it. It really had everything you could imagine to offer for yarns. Some of the ones that off the top of my head were the Jagger Spun and Quince & Co., Brooklyn Tweed. It had some Sadness Garn. It had all kinds of sock yarn. It had a local dyer called On the Round. And just the selection was crazy good. They had a nice selection of needles as well as some, other gifty items for knitters. They had some t-shirts, they had some hand lotions, some mugs. But the thing that I really enjoyed a lot was they had a lot of samples. And, when you have samples like that, it really gets your wheels turning for purchasing purposes, as well as thinking about what you have in your stash that you could use, pattern ideas. It really was a wonderful experience. We also met a brand new knitter, or a relatively new knitter, and his name was Patrick. And hey, Patrick, if you're watching, he was too shy to go on camera, so we'll give him that. But anyway, this was by far one of my top favorite yarn stores I have ever been in. And if I lived closer, I would so be in trouble. I would be there all the time. Lovely setting, great selection of yarns, and I'm going to show you what I purchased there. Here is their card, Heavenly Yarns. And they do have an online presence, and they do take orders online. And Helen says that they're very good about shipping out quickly. So if you place an order, then you will have it. She said they realize what a knitting emergency is. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, I purchased a few things, and one of the things I purchased is this. And this is that Feederbrook Farm, which I worked with when I did a sample knit of the pressed flowers cowl. And I just loved it so much. It's one of the color changing ones. And this is the Entropy DK. It's 268 yards. It's 100% blue-faced Leicester wool. And in the colorway is Dark Energy. So this is like, beautiful. It's going to be so good. I actually was thinking about a pair of socks for myself. I don't know if it's, smart to do 100% wool, but I don't know. It can be anything. I just really liked the yarn the first time I used it, and I hadn't actually found a source in my travels for it. So they had it there, and I thought I would get that. And then the second thing I picked up is just a basic Regia sock yarn, and I got this because this yarn is workhorsey and tweedy, and this is actually their 4-ply or their fingering weight, and I like the tweed. But I will probably hold it double with something else or double strand it here, because I do not want to do fingering weight socks normally. So yeah, I like this kind of yarn a lot. It is really very rugged. It's machine washable, not dryable. What's the content here? 75-25, I think. It's 100 grams, 438 yards. So that's just a basic one that I liked and got. It's cute. And then the last thing I got, they had a shop sample, and the pattern is this, and it's the Linus Shawl Revisited, and I'm not sure, it is a free pattern on Ravelry. I'm sorry, so I didn't give anything away. It uses 2 balls of this yarn, which I had not used or seen before. It's from Stacy Charles Fine Yarns, and it is called Amelia. And so the content is 40% silk, 30% linen, and 30% cotton. And this color is called Storm Clouds. It takes 2 balls to make this shawl. The reason that I liked this shawl is it was again a smaller version. Let's see if I can find a picture of it to put it up on the screen instead of the paper. Maybe it's probably a little bit easier, but I really liked it. It was super drapey, the sample that they had. So that is what I purchased. And then I purchased a knitting needle, and I think that was all. But again, what a fantastic shop that was. That was really a lot of fun. And then we went and did a few other things with our husbands. You know, they were with us the whole time, and they managed to keep themselves occupied and walk around the little main street and stuff. And then we went to another yarn store. It was called the Mother of Pearl Yarn Shop, and I actually have ordered from them online. I think Briggs & Little was what I got originally, but this is their card. Mother of Pearl Yarn Shop. And it was a good sized store. I do not have footage from that store, unfortunately. It was a little bit busy in there, and I didn't feel it was really a great opportunity to whip out the camera. So, and again, I found another little, this is a scarf, and it is a free pattern. It's a free pattern, and it is called Oh Helen. And so I didn't get that color, but it is, it was made with 2 skeins of this, and it's the Barocco Chai. And it is, 56% linen and 44% silk. So these are the kind of knits that I like to knit. So cute. As opposed to t-shirts. Even if I don't wear them, they just make wonderful summertime knitting. And sorry, I'm looking for the color and I don't see it. It's probably a color number. Yeah, I don't see it. Color number 8641. I hate when they do that. But anyway, these are the kind of things that I like to knit in the summer. And they make lovely gifts because they're not a big giant over the top shawl. And if it's not a gift, maybe I'll wear it. I don't know. I just liked it, and I wanted to be sure that I purchased that I made a purchase there. I like to support the yarn shops. And I also purchased a pattern, or I got information for a pattern for a stuffed toy, which I'm not a toy knitter. I ranks right up there with blankets, but this guy was pretty cute. So I'll share that in a future episode. And then the final place we went the next day, well, we had lunch at a lovely little downtown eatery, pizza place, right in Freeport, which was where the Mother of Pearl was, the yarn shop. And then the following day we went to a different little town, and it was called Camden. And it was also not too far away, like a half hour from us. And we found the next yarn store, and it was called the Cashmere Goat. Absolutely lovely. Iris was the woman who greeted us, not the owner, but holding down the fort, and she was lovely. The Cashmere Goat, I will link them down below. They have a podcast here on YouTube as well. Iris and the owner, which I'm so sorry, I cannot remember her name. I just met her quickly in passing. But anyway, I got a couple of things there. And the first thing that I got is this from Coco Knits. It's a sweater care pop-up dryer. And Andrea Mallory talks about this all the time. She calls it the potato chip because it's shaped like, I don't know, like a Pringles chip. And you set it up, it's up and bends so that you can lay your sweater over the mesh after you have soaked it so that it can dry. Sometimes when you put a sweater on blocking mats, it takes like extra days. And I have seen that for a while, so I thought I'd give that a try. I haven't actually seen it in store anywhere, so I was pretty excited to find it. Anyway, that was one purchase. And the next purchase I made was this skein of yarn. This is Cumbria, which I hear so much about from the fiber company. And this is a worsted weight. It's 100 grams. It is 90% wool and 10% mohair. And it's a worsted weight. The colorway is called Barrow, B-A-R-R-O-W. This does not do it justice. So beautiful. And the reason that I only got one skein is because this is for the alpaca toy that pattern that I'm going to make. I hope. I hope it goes well. I don't know. I might fall off the bandwagon on that. But anyway, really nice yarn. People making sweaters and stuff out of it. It's beautiful. So I purchased that. And then I got some DK sock yarn, which I had not seen this before, and I don't really even know how to say it. So I'm just going to show it to you. It's 75% virgin wool and 25% polyamide. And so this is the brand, Super Sock. And on the label, it shows the different socks as they knit up. So I think this one is this one. And so I got 3 of them because I really liked them. I really like the Regia kind too, that do these patterned socks. But I wanted to do them in DK. So I'm pretty excited to find this. And this is enough for a pair of socks, probably more. So yes, I am super excited about it. So that is what I got there. So that is all the acquisitions that I have. And we just had truly a wonderful time. We enjoyed ourselves tremendously, and Judy and Joe were a pleasure to be with. There was no high maintenance anything. It was very easy to hang out with them. So I'm hoping it's kind of our goal that maybe we can plan ahead for next year's Knitwit at the Shores. Knitwits is the yarn store in Portland, Maine. And they host this event annually, and it's just, it's days of knitting and classes and bonfires and knitting and eating and knitting. And so it really, really interests me. And I was super glad that we went and checked the place out because it's a beautiful facility and it makes you want to go back. So hopefully they have success this year at that. And maybe we'll have a chance to do that next year. So anyway, that is about it. I do have a couple of pictures of flowers. I said I was going to put some at the end of the last video, and my editing would not let me. My husband created a small outdoor space for me so I can hang out back there and knit on my days off. Things are slowed a little bit now for the garden center, and I will have a little bit of time off before other things come up at work. So anyway, we had a fantastic time. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so sorry that this is so long this time. I knew it was going to be. I knew it's been quite a bit longer since the last podcast. And anyway, ramble. I hope you're all well. And thank you so much for sticking with me if you're still here to the end. And still working on getting to my 1,000 subscribers. So if you know anybody who might like to watch and subscribe, liking my video helps tremendously. And please know that I appreciate every single one of you. Take care, everybody. Happy knitting. Keep your needles clicking. Bye.